Okay, well, thank you very much. Once again, nandito naman po ang kaibigan ninyo, si Nico, sa programa niya, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Once again, I would like to say welcome kayo po, ang mga kababayan ko, kaibigan ko, kapatid ko po, ang Filipino community, and of course, ang mga kaibigan natin, mga Malaysiano po, dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah, where I am based, no? And same greetings also goes to all our kapatid, kababayan at kaibigan natin po, mga OFWs or overseas Filipino workers po, kung nasaan man kayo sa iba-ibang bansa. And huwag natin kalimutan, and of course I will never forget also to greet ang mga kaibigan, kababayan at kapatid natin po dyan sa Pilipinas. Kumusta kayo, Pamacham? And salamat pagi, salamat patang, and salamat malam sa inyong lahat po. In other words, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening kung nasaan man kayo po. Huwag natin kalimutan po, no? Ito na nga ang hingi. I'm asking from you. Do not forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe itong channel ko po dito sa Facebook at saka sa YouTube po, no? So at least you will be able to get more or ang mga latest or what is happening dyan po sa Pilipinas through itong Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Ganun pa rin, thanks God, it's Friday, January 23 na po, malapit na ang sweldo, and sige lang po, na? Trabaho lang tayo po despite so many problems ang Pilipinas is facing. So today, I am going to touch more on specific topic lang tayo ngayon po, na? Kasi Biyernes ngayon, Eve of Saturday. Ganun ba yun? Eve of Saturday. So, I will be touching more on itong another hot issue sa Philippines. A very hot issue in the Philippines. And as what we said since last year, no? November, December, na there is a possibility that impeachment cases will be filed. Will be filed po. Not only against Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, which is really expected. Some people are just waiting the expiry date of the one-year ban that will expire on February 6. But mayroon din ang mga impeachment complaints against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, of which this week, as early as last Monday, January 19 ba yun? No? Mayroon na po isang impeachment complaint submitted o filed dyan po sa House Secretary General po, no? And after that, yesterday, mayroon pa dalawang impeachment complaint. But may problema ang dalawang impeachment complaint. And it is for this reason now that I am focusing ang programa natin po tungkol sa impeachment. I know, ang mga kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah, they also want to know kung anong latest happenings tungkol sa impeachment ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. as well as the expected filing of impeachment complaint again against Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Alright. So, start tayo dyan lang po. And of course, as I talk, I will also share with you some video clips po, no? Video clips regarding itong reaction ng mga politician, mga complainants po, mga complainants na who filed ang impeachment complaint against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. Alright? Now, unang-una po, let me share with you itong news article. Itong news article po, published ngayon po sa mga national dailies dyan po sa Pilipinas, dyan po sa Maynila, especially po. And I'm getting this news article from Philstar. It is a legit media outlet po, newspaper dyan po sa Pilipinas. Ang title ng news article nila is "To Impeach Complaint versus Marcos Jr. Hit Snag." Snag. Alright. Nandito po. Marinig kayo ng mabuti ang detalles ng notisya. Two more impeachment complaints against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. were brought to the office of the House Secretary General yesterday po, kahapon ito, no? But were not accepted. No? Were not accepted due to the absence of the receiving official. This is the question now. No? Former Bayan Muna Congressman Teddy Casino and Nery Colmenares were unable to lodge their 37-page impeachment complaint, and so were supporters of the Vice President Sara Duterte, led by former Ilocos Sur Governor Luis Chavit Singson and former Congressman Mike Defensor. The reason Secretary General Cheloy Garafil was not around to receive the complaint because she is in Taiwan for an event. Hindi daw nagtanggap, they did not receive itong Office of the Secretary General, si Cheloy Garafil, dahil physically si Secretary General Cheloy Garafil is out of the country. Out of the country po. That's why none of her deputy ba or any officials dyan po sa opisina niya receive ang official complaint or impeachment complaint against Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. One of Garafil's tasks as House Secretary General is to receive a verified, duly endorsed impeachment complaint and transmit it immediately to the office of the Speaker. Yon ang trabaho ni Garafil. The news further said, "It is not our fault that your Secretary General is absent. Under the Constitution, under the rules, it is enough that we submit to your office," Castillo recalled, telling Garafil's staff. For us, that impeachment complaint is deemed filed. Why? Because we delivered it to the office of the Secretary General, Calmarines or Calmerares said. "We are questioning their motive why they do not want to receive it," Calmaranes or Calmenares said over Radio DZBB. "We do not see any reasons for them not to receive the impeachment complaint. They should receive it and allow the House to do what it has to do on complaint. Let the House decide whether it will dismiss it or refer it to the appropriate committee for proper action," he said. The Constitution and the rules of the House did not say that the Secretary General should be physically present to receive the complaint. We followed that. We went to the office of the Secretary General, but they did not want to receive it because, according to them, the Secretary General is not around. But nowhere in the rules of the House did it say that Secretary General physically should receive it. It's just the office of the Secretary General. Klaro-klaro po, no? Sabi ni Colmenares. Receiving the complaint is just ministerial. And it is highly suspicious for them not to receive it, he added. After failing to have their complaint lodged, Singson and Defensor held a press conference to denounce massive corruption in the Marcos administration. Excuse me. My position is that we use other options. We have other legal options. Well, we will go to the Supreme Court. That is one legal option, Defensor said over Radio DZRH without elaborating. The first impeachment complaint filed by private lawyer Andre De Jesus has been forwarded by Garafil to the office of the Speaker, Faustino D. III, a signal that internal process in handling impeachment suits in the chamber has already begun. Garafil reportedly has a scheduled engagement in Taiwan today. Ngayon po, Makabayan Bloc Representative Sara Elago of Women's Group Gabriela Party List, Reni Co of Kabataan Party List, and Antonio Tino of EC Teachers Party List have endorsed the complaint filed by Colmenares and Defensor. The three articles of impeachment mentioned in Makabayan Beck suit were institutionalizing system corruption and patronage, abuse of discriminatory power over unprogrammed appropriations, and direct personal involvement in kickback scam. A video shared by Makabayan lawyers showed Executive Director Jose Marmoy Salonga politely refusing to accept the impeachment document from Tino, saying he has no authority receiving it. Yun po ang problema ngayon. Now, bakit po they want this two second impeachment complaints to be filed, or the Secretary should receive it po within a very specific period po, ngayon po, this week po, dahil mag-start na po ang session sa Monday. They will resume ang Congress session on Monday po. And it will be included sana po, tatlo po. Because itong si Defensor, si Chavit, and itong grupo ni Renato po, they said, the first impeachment complaint which was filed last Monday, dyan po sa Office of the Secretary General, House of Secretary General po, hindi malakas, hindi strong. So, sabi nila, they believe ang Makabayan Block, ang second impeachment complaint nila po is stronger than the first one. And ang impeachment complaint naman nila Chavit and Defensor, no? And Tapasio, they said, mas laro ang mga, they have stronger evidence na may puntos talaga sila bakit mag-impeach kay President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. Now, tatlo ito po. Kung sakali, ang first impeachment complaint lang po, they will bring it sa Speaker, sa Monday po, no? In fact, nandoon na yung kay Speaker po, no? Now, kung ito lang po, they will start, then ibig sabihin itong dalawang second and third impeachment complaint po, hindi na included, hindi na valid po. So, takot ang mga complainants because mahina itong first impeachment. So, it will, based on technicalities po, na hindi matuloy. Hindi matuloy po. And remember, kung sakali itong mga impeachment po, let's say ang first impeachment will garner 1/3 vote from the 300 plus congressman po, so hindi na ito, it will not pass through sa Committee of Justice. Yun po ang procedure, di ba? Ang proseso. Now, kung they have 1/3 majority, 1/3 votes, no? So diretso na ito po sa Senado. Pero kung hindi, it has to pass for sa Committee of Justice ng House of Representatives. So let's see po what will happen sa Monday. Let's watch what will happen sa Monday, itong dalawang impeachment po. And apparently, nakita natin po, ang mga complainants, they are not happy with ano nangyari po kahapon, what transpired yesterday po, wherein the House Secretary General physically is not in Manila, in her office po, but ang mga tao niya po refused to accept ang second and third complaint, impeachment complaint. Is it right? Is it constitutional? No? And dahil dyan po, siguro they will bring it to the Supreme Court for decision making again po. No? So most likely there will be another PRO na naman ito po. No? But clearly, they are saying, under the Constitution, under the House rule, na it was not specified that any impeachment complaint should be physically handed over to the Secretary General, si Cheloy Garafil. Ministerial ano lang yan po eh. But, bakit they refuse, ang mga tao ni Garafil refuse to accept ang complaint. But anyway, itong dalawang impeachment complaint, they just left ang documents nila po sa opisina ng Secretary General, hoping that, let's see what will happen sa Monday. Alright? So, yun po ang istorya natin po, which we are trying to, sabihin natin, focus ngayon, tackle ngayon po dito sa programa natin para mga kababayan, kaibigan, kapatid ko po dito sa Malaysia, particularly di Sabah po, you will be able to also know, no? Malalaman ninyo po what is happening sa Pilipinas, particularly itong issue na impeachment against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, which is a very, very, sabihin natin, hot topic ngayon. Shoutout muna tayo kay Rosie Rafael Paderes, who is watching itong programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Thank you for watching. God bless. And I hope everything is running smoothly sa buhay ni Rosie. Alright, to start with, let me share with you itong video clip na. Let's start sa mga video clips mo. No? Video clips sa tungkol sa issue na ito. Okay, mayroon tayo dito, first video clip ko po. Random lang ito po. I'm sorry, it's not in order, but I will try to make it in order na lang po, no? Anyway, sige. Let's start with, mayroon interview si Pinky Webb sa On Point, no? Sa On Point programa niya po. And she interviewed ito si Renato Reyes, ang Secretary General ng Bayan, who is one of the complainants po, no? Sa second impeachment complaint. And let's listen, watch and listen itong interview ni Pinky Webb sa kanya po. Hold on, ha? Okay, sandali lang po. Let's, okay, lagyan natin ganito. And, alright, sandali. Ano ba yun? Ano ba yun Q natin? 202. Ang Q natin is 202. And, alright, sandali. Alright, nandito po.
Supposed to be the second impeachment complaint, bagong Alyansa Makabayan or Bayan President Renato Reyes Jr. Nato, good to have you again. Hi, nice to see you. So, pumunta kayo kanina sa opisina ni Secretary General. But you were telling me earlier, siguro ikaw na magkwento, na tinawagan niyo po si Sec Gen Sheloy the night before. Go ahead, sir. So, we wanted to be sure that our complaint would be received because we are pressed for time. An impeachment complaint has been transmitted to the Speaker, and we fear that by the time that the session resumes on Monday, the impeachment complaint could be referred to the Justice Committee, thus triggering the one-year ban. So, excluded na lahat ng gusto pang humabol if they do that, no? So, we said that we needed to file on Thursday. So, we called we messaged the SecGen at ang information was that she would be out of the country. She would not be here. She would not be reporting for work. So, the next question that we asked was, will there be someone who would receive the complaint? Because under the rules, we have to file the complaint before the office of the Secretary General. So, we didn't get a reply. Ay, di na sumagot doon. Di na. So, nasin lang kami. So, this morning, that's when we found out, when we talked to one of the lawyers, that they will not be receiving our complaint. So, even if we go there, even if it's a verified complaint, even if there's an endorsement by our kabayan representatives, they will not be receiving the complaint. So, nasa limbo tayo. And we were asked to just go back on Monday. Now, when we ask, if we go back on Monday, if we file on Monday, is there a certainty that we will be included in the order of business? Hindi naman kami ma-exclude o mapag-iwanan. And the person we were talking to said that I cannot answer that. That's a political decision. So, wala na. Sagot na, that's a political decision.
Alright, yun po, si Renato Reyes po, no? During the interview of Pinky Webb sa kanya. And meron pa rin, I will share with you another portion of the interview po about ang House ruling na si Pinky Webb was saying. So, saan ito? Okay, let's watch and listen to this.
Article 11, Section 3, ito po yung sa impeachment. Para lang po, meron tayong background. A verified complaint for impeachment any citizen upon a resolution of endorsement by any member thereof, which shall be included, ito po yung sinasabi ni NATO, in the order of business within 10 session days. Ibig sabihin, pag-file, kailangan within 10 session days ay na-include na siya sa order. Ano pa ibig sabihin ng order of business?
Ibig sabihin, para sa araw na yon, sa session ng Kongreso, kasama sa mga tatalakayin o actionan ng plenary yung iyong impeachment complaint. So we saw during the Sara Duterte impeachment that there were multiple complaints filed. There were at least 3 complaints filed. But these languished with the Office of the Secretary General for 2 months. Kaya lang yung 2 months na yun, under the rules of the House, they count in session days, not in calendar days. So within 10 session days, it was eventually transmitted to the Speaker.
Pero hindi maintindihan yun ng tao because
Yeah,
yung
oo.
2 months na yon, ang sabi pala ng House, the explanation there nato is, kung nag-session kayo ng Monday pero hindi kayo nag-adjourn,
Yeah.
nagpatuloy sa Tuesday, nagpatuloy sa Wednesday, at hindi pa rin nag-adjourn, at nagpatuloy pa rin sa susunod na linggo. One session
Session day lang yun. So, hindi yan calendar days. Iba ang sukatan nila. So, tumagal ng konti, pero within 10 session days, yung Sara Duterte impeachment reached the plenary, and the plenary transmitted the 4th impeachment complaint as the articles of impeachment. Dito naman, baliktad. No? So, nag-file no Monday, na-transmit agad. Sa Speaker, yeah, it was announced yesterday that it had been transmitted to the Speaker. So that means they could include that in the order of business as early as Monday. They could refer that to the Justice Committee, and that would trigger the 1-year ban.
And why is it very important that we talk about Monday? January 26 kasi yung resumption ng Kongreso. Doon po sila babalik officially come Monday.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin. Ha? Bakit they have to file ngayon po, this week, ang second impeachment complaint against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. And they believe that ang complaint nila po is stronger than the first impeachment complaint, no? Which was filed last Monday po. So, okay, tuloy natin po ang next video clip sa interview ni Pinky Webb kay Renato Reyes. The next is, I'm going to share with you po. Listen carefully po. Nandito po.
Secretary General, verified complaint lang, etc., within the order of business, within 10 session days, etc. The House was empowered to formulate their own rules. Dito po napapasok yung Secretary General. Section 3, filing and referral of verified complaints. Galing po ito sa Kongreso. A verified complaint for impeachment by a member of the House or by any citizen upon resolution of endorsement shall be filed with the Office of the Secretary General and immediately referred to the Speaker. Dalawa po ang gusto kong pag-usapan dito. With the Office of the Secretary General. So what you did, dahil wala po si Sec Gen Garafil, iniwan niyo po yung inyong complaint.
Well, pinatatanggap namin. We asked the Executive Director to at least stamp our complaint that they received it on this day. Even if the Secretary General was not present, she can sign the impeachment resolution when she returns on Monday. But even that, they would not agree to. So they wouldn't even touch the complaint. No? So ayaw nila talaga tanggapin. So sabi ng aming lawyer, si Atty. Nerico Monares, iwan na lang namin dito sa inyo. No? Kayo na ang bahala. Basta alam ng media, alam ng publiko, on this day, we filed the complaint, but you did not receive it.
Tricky.
Alright, klaro-klaro po, no? Na ang office, ang staff dyan po sa House Secretary General po, ang mga staff niya po, refuse to accept it, neither stamp it that they received, because they claim na si Secretary General Cheloy Garafil has the authority to receive it po. So, walang choice sila po, ang mga complainants, but to just leave it there. No? After all, sabi nila, ang mga complainants, alam na ang media, alam na ang publiko na they submitted ang complaint nila. And what will be the result? We don't know po. That is the reason why kailangan po i-monitor natin ito po and follow up natin po sa Monday once ang Kongreso will resume ang session nila po after a long recess. A long recess po. Tuloy pa rin tayo po ang interview ni Pinky Webb and listen carefully po, no? Listen carefully. The reason why I am sharing this with you po, para at least ang mga kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia, dito sa Sabah po, you will have an idea, you will have a clear picture po of what is happening itong issue na ito po. Dahil marami mga, sabihin natin, mga haka-haka, no? Coming from the both sides. Those who are supporting the Marcoses or the administration and those who are against the administration po. So, klaro mas disente, mas mabuti I will share with you itong mga video clips para kayo na bahala po, no? Kayo na bahala to assess or ano mga opinion ninyo po, who is right and who is wrong. Alright, mayroon pa tayo dito isang interview po, no? Continuation ng interview ni Pinky Webb. Let's watch and listen to this.
Kaya nga, ang sinasabi namin dyan, ang impeachment, syempre, karapatan yan, no? Ng kahit sino man na gusto magkaroon ng resolution, accountability sa mga matataas na officials, no? The impeachable officials. So, ang trabaho ng Secretary General is ministerial. Tatanggapin niya, i-receive niya, and tatransmit niya. The Secretary has no discretion on this matter. It cannot refuse, no? He or she cannot refuse to accept it. She cannot refuse to transmit the same to the Speaker.
But if it's very clear in the House rules that shall be filed with the Office of the Secretary General, hindi po sinabing with the Secretary General. So, are you of the opinion na dapat tinanggap talaga ng Executive Director o ng attorney na nandun sa Office of the Secretary?
Dapat tinanggap talaga. When they ask, what rule are you citing which prevents you from receiving our complaint, ang sinasabi lang nila ay they're not authorized to receive the complaint.
But it says Office of the Secretary
Exactly.
General. Nandun siya sa opisina, hindi ho ba?
As far as we're concerned, the office remains, no? Even if the secretary is out of the country, the office is still there.
Alright, yun, he repeated na it is very clear sa House ruling ng Congress na ang impeachment complaint should be submitted sa House Secretary General's office, no? Not necessarily personally to be received by the House Secretary General si Cheloy Garafil. Yon ang issue ngayon po, no? Bakit po? So, there is a possibility kung there is a possibility baka itong mga complainants will go to the Supreme Court and ask for the interference and make the decision po whether this Secretary General office did the right thing po, because according to the complainants, ang posisyon ng Office of the Secretary General, si Cheloy Garafil, is ministerial lang po, no? Whether you like it or not po, it's your job to receive any complaints from the public, no? But what happened now is, they refuse kasi wala daw ang big boss. Wala daw ang big boss. Nasa Taiwan daw po ang big boss. Alright? So, let's go to another issue, to another complainant, and this time around, ang complainant, ang third impeachment, no? Third impeachment against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, itong grupo ni Attorney Harold Respicio, no? Together with former governor si Chavit Singson, together with former Congressman Defensor, no? They also went to the House of Representatives, sa office ng Secretary General ni Cheloy Garafil, to file a third complaint po, which they said very strong ang complaint nila po, no? Against ang mga rason nila against BBM for the impeachment, no? For the impeachment. And if you notice, and if we go back to the records po ng itong si former Governor Chavez Singson, sila former Congressman defensor po, no? They filed mga impeachment po before, and matibay talaga po, no? Is it because they refuse to accept because matibay talaga itong complaint nila or hindi? We don't know po. But nandito, I will share with you po ang sabihin natin ang interview ng SMNI kay Attorney Harold Respicio, who is the Vice Mayor of Rena Mercedes Isabela po, and he is one of the complainants. One of the complainants sa third impeachment complaint against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. Bongbong Marcos po. And again, I would like to say, watch carefully po, listen carefully ang mga statement made by Attorney Harold Respicio.
Dahil ang complaint ito for impeachment laban kay BBM ay impeachment ng taong bayan at hindi ito impeachment lamang ng isang grupo. Nandun ako kanina bilang representative ng mga Ilocano, ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino at mga elected officials sa ating bansa. Dahil sinasabi ng administrasyong ito na sa kanila pa rin yung suporta ng Luzon ng mga Ilocano at lahat ng mga nakaupo na elective sa ating lipunan. Pero hindi po. Kami po, sama-sama, pinakamabibigat na politiko, pinakamabibigat na mga abogado sa ating bansa. May track record na successful impeachment cases. Sila Chavez, sila Mike Defensor, sila Attorney Topacio, sila ang pinakamagaling na gumawa ng impeachment complaint. Kaya ito yung pinakamaganda na isasampasan na impeachment complaint, hindi yung walang kwentang impeachment complaint na ipinasa nung Monday. Kaya po, dali-dali kaming nagpasa ng impeachment complaint dahil pagbalik ng session ng Congress sa Monday, ay sure yan, i-refer nila yan sa Committee on Justice. At sabi ng Supreme Court, pagkapasa ng complaint at pagka-refer sa Committee on Justice, bawal nang magsampa ng impeachment complaint ulit kasi nasa Constitution yun within 1 year. Kaya kailangan naming magpasa bago sila mag-refer sa Monday. Kaso nga lang, hinarangan kami ng Secretary General. Wala daw siya kasi kayuan daw siya. Under sa rules ng House of Representatives, ang tatanggap ng impeachment complaint ay yung Secretary General ng House of Representatives. Kung wala sa office, si Secretary General, meron siyang deputy at yun yung umarap sa amin kanina. Sabi niya wala daw siyang authority na tumanggap. Hello sir, ang authority mo nasa batas. Ang pinagpapasahan namin ay yung opisina, hindi yung taong absent. At saka, ang sabi nga nila, noong 2017, nagsampa na rin kasi ng COMELEC impeachment case laban kay Commissioner Bautista. Merong president na ang tumanggap noon yung deputy, hindi yung Secretary General. Kaya hindi pwede yung palusot yan. Obvious naman na ayaw ninyong tumanggap ng mga substantive na impeachment cases, katulad ng impeachment case na isinampa rin kaninang umaga ng Makabayan Black dahil gusto ninyong ang pasusutin lang ay yung isinampa nung Monday na walang kwenta at affiliated pa sa administrasyon yung gumawa ng impeachment. Pagka-refer niyan sa Monday, forestalled na lahat ng mga susunod na complaint at yung walang kwenta na impeachment case ang padadaanin nila at sure, dismiss yan. Bakit ayaw ninyong palusutin itong substantive at substantial na impeachment case na gawa ng pinakamagagaling na utak sa ating bansa?
Yan po, narinig natin, no? May mga puntos talaga po, no? May mga puntos talaga. And let's see sa Monday. Let's see sa Monday po. And yun na po, sabi niya po, bakit, no? No? My presidents daw, he claimed na my presidents, mayroon po nangyari noon, ang impeachment kay Bautista, wherein hindi nagtanggap ang impeachment complaint ang Secretary General. Sino ang deputy niya po. So this time around, bakit ayaw magtanggap ang impeachment complaint ang deputy ng House Secretary General po. No? And he is claiming na ang impeachment complaint filed last Monday po, hindi ito matibay. Hindi matibay po. So, anong mga agenda o rason po why they refuse to accept it po? Let's wait until Monday po, no? Let's wait until Monday. Your guess is as good as mine, no? So, let's see po. I don't want to comment anything on that thing po kasi let's see, ha? Hintay natin sa Monday po anong decision. And kung sakali po, no? I was made to understand may haka-haka na po kung sakali ano ito po, they are going to bring this matter to the Supreme Court po to make a decision. Okay, tuloy pa rin natin ang SMNI interview kay Renato Reyes. And again, I would say na watch carefully po and listen carefully itong mga video clip that I am sharing sa inyong lahat po. So at least you will have an idea talaga.
Yung pagtanggap.
Automatic nga dapat, di ba? Automatic. Ang isang public official, dalawa lang naman ang paggawa mo ng trabaho, ministerial o discretionary. Ang pagtanggap, ayon sa House rules, ay ministerial. Dapat tanggapin mo. Hindi ka pwedeng umiwas. At kapag ginawa mo na hindi tanggapin ang aming complaint, hindi ka sumusunod sa tungkulin mo bilang isang public official. Kaya sir, yung humarap kanina, meron kang pananagutan sa batas.
Di ba po kaya may nag-comment kasi kanina sa live po ninyo, attorney. Sabi na nag-comment at ako po ka mapapahamak yung humarap ka na attorney Respicio at baka matanggal sa trabaho. Pagtanggapin yung pong impeachment case na inayahan kanina.
Hindi lang ba kaya na MJ? Sure yan. Bossing, may pananagutan ka. Hindi ka namin iiwan.
Opo, attorney, marami po nagtatanong. Ano na po ang pinagkaiba sa grounds ng yung impeachment case na final kanina kumpara po sa impeachment case na ifinal naman noong pong January 19, sir?
Itong impeachment case namin ay comprehensive. Napakaraming grounds. Yung nasa konstitusyon, ang daming grounds na pwede lahat yun. Tinalakay namin. Mas maganda sana kapag nasubmit at na-receive yung aming impeachment complaint para meron akong liberty na mag-discuss ngayon. Pero mainly, isa sa mga grounds yan ay culpable violation of the Constitution na nagbigay daan ng malawakang graft and corruption sa ating bansa at siya rin ang dahilan kung bakit nawalan na ng tiwala ang taong bayan sa ating presidente. Betrayal of public trust. Tatlong grounds kagad yan. Sweep na sweep kagad. Ito ba, example? Anong example ng culpable violation of the Constitution?
Yes, sir.
Yung mga program na mga appropriations dun sa ating budget. Sino ba ang required na mag-prepare ng budget? Ang executive. Ang executive ay nakalag lamang sa isang tao, ang ating presidente. Siya ang nagpatupad ng mga unprogram funds. Against yan sa Constitution kapag hindi specified kung saan manggagaling yung funds at walang trigger doon sa general appropriation pero ginagawa nilang practice yan, culpable, ibig sabihin sinasadya at alam pero pinagpatuloy mo pa rin, culpable violation of the Constitution. Iniwasan mo yung utos mismo ng Constitution pagdating sa tamang pag-appropriate ng unprogram funds. And yan tuloy, sabi nga ng kanilang mga kakampi na bumaliktad nga, yun ang dahilan kaya sila nakapagnakaw at meron pang mga specific statements na may delivery mismo kay Presidente at sa kanyang mga kakampi. At yan din ang dahilan kaya ngayon ang taong bayan wala nang tiwala sa kanilang lahat. Dahil settled naman na naniniwala tayo na yan ang dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon ng malawakang daya sa ating lipunan. Huwag po natin sabihin na matagal na nilang ginagawa itong bagay na ito. Therefore, forced na tayo, bawal na natin questionin ang bagay na ito. Dahil tandaan po ninyo, yung PDAF noon, yung pork barrel, matagal na nilang practice yan. Pero sinabi ng Supreme Court, unconstitutional yan, pwede pa rin nilang gawing illegal. Itigirang illegal, therefore, kapag violate mo yung Constitution, yan ay culpable violation of the Constitution. Ground yan ng pagtanggal, pag-impeach sa ating presidente. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala, darating din ang buong kopya ng ating complaint sa mga susunod na araw at sana tanggapin ng House of Representatives ang ating complaint at magkakaroon tayo ng kalayaan na i-discuss ang lahat in detail ng laman ng ating impeachment complaint.
Bago lang
Alright, narinig natin po. Yun po si Attorney Harold Respicio. Yun, sabi niya po, ang complaint nila po, no? Mga basis mga comprehensive grounds. Marami silang comprehensive grounds and one of it is the culpable violation of the Constitution po. Yeah? Nandiyan po ang graph po and he is talking about ang national budget natin noon po, no? Na may mga questionable items po that they are focusing. He cannot na mention lahat po ang ano po dahil hindi pa na-start ang sabihin natin ang proseso po, no? But he promised that once everything is okay already po, then he will elaborate further item by item po ang mga grounds nila po for filing the impeachment complaint against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos. At ano po ang mga mga statement na po during the interview. Let's continue po. Mayroon pa dito po, isa pa. No? Isa pa po. Si Attorney Harold Respicio. Respicio.
Ng bawat Pilipino, as a matter of fact, duty ng bawat Pilipino na i-confront ang lahat ng kamalian ng ating gobyerno. At isa itong political process. Karapatan natin ito kaya kapag pinagkait sa atin ang ating kakayahan na magsampa ng impeachment laban sa presidente sa pamamagitan ng ganitong mga schemes, tayo po ay pinagkakaitan ng ating karapatan. Kaya mga taong bayan, huwag po tayong pumayag na laro-laruin lang tayo at pagkaitan tayo ng ating karapatan na iproseso ang impeachment ng ulo ng lahat ng korupsyon sa ating bansa.
Attorney, magandang gabi. Kanina, nabanggit mo na yung deputy ni SecGen nakausap at tumarap sa inyo. Meron ba silang ipinangako, balik na lang kayo bukas or meron ba silang ganyang sinabi?
Dami-may naman itong kasama nila doon sa Secretary General's office dahil ang sinabi lang niya, Bossing, mag-manifest yung mga kasama kayo ng abogado. Ano ang basis mo sa batas? Bakit ka tumatanggi? Hindi sir. Sinasabi ko lang, minamanifest ko lang na hindi ako authorized. Bakit ka hindi ka authorized? Authorized ka ng batas. Hindi ka pwedeng magpalusot. Binabayaran ka ng pera ng taong bayan. Kami ang nagpapasweldo sa'yo. Bakit ayaw mong gumawa ng iyong trabaho?
Alright, yun po, galit na po si Attorney Harold Respicio, no? One of the complainant yun po, dyan pa sa third impeachment complaint against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, no? Together with Chavit Singson and Mike Defensor, no? So tatlo yun po. Let's see what will happen on Monday, no? Let's see what will happen on Monday. But meron pa ako dito na I think dalawa pa itong footages, no? At least it will help us have a clear picture po. Ano talaga nangyari during the filing of the impeachment complaint against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos po. Mga legalities or anong mga rules dyan po. So this time around, I will share with you isang dalawang video clip ito po. Before I will conclude itong programa natin, TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, ang reaction, opinion ng isa pang lawyer po, no? And very vocal lawyer ito po. And whether you like it or not po, she is a strong supporter of the Dutertes po, no? And since we are talking about impeachment is it's a political maneuvering po, no? And a game of numbers ito po. Game of numbers, whether we like it or not. So, let's watch and listen ang reaction or opinion ni Attorney Trixie Angeles po, no? Ang tungkol sa issue na ito po. Let's watch and listen to her. Sandali po. Nandito na po. Ito po.
Nga, ang ilan mga kaibigan natin sa House of Representatives para ihain ang pangatlong impeachment complaint laban kay Pangulong Marcos. Gayon din po, may attempt, kung di ako nagkakamali, alam kong may pangalawang impeachment complaint na inattempt din na isumiti. Ngunit, wala po si Attorney Chenoy Garafil. Si Attorney Chenoy Garafil, kung ating maaalala, siya po ay ang House Secretary General. Ayon doon sa rules ng impeachment, ang pag-uumpisa ng pagsusumiti ng impeachment ay sa House Secretary General. At ayon doon din sa rules ng House, kapag natanggap ito ay immediately isusumiti sa Office of the Speaker. So sa Office of the Speaker naman, mayroon silang 10 session days para i-forward yung reklamo sa plenaryo. Sa plenaryo naman, may 3 session days para isumite sa Committee on Justice kung hindi po ito aabot sa numero na maaaring makapag-House vote. Ano yung House vote? Kapag may 1/3 na sumasang-ayon, 1/3 of the congressmen na sumasang-ayon sa impeachment complaint, hindi na po ito tutungo sa sa Committee on Justice, didiretso na siya doon didiretso na siya sa Senado. At yung reklamo mismo will be the one that constitutes the impeachment complaint. Are you with me so far? Now,
Yan po, si Atty. Trixie Angeles. And natuloy pa, isa pang video clip ni Atty. Trixie po. Let's watch and listen to this.
bang karapatan ang House Secretary General na tumanggi ng mga reklamo. Maliwanag kasi dahil sa rules ng House na ito ang tanggapan para sa mga reklamo. Walang nakalagay sa House rules. So kahit anumang batas na ang House Secretary General ay may discretion mag-determine kung tatanggapin o hindi ang reklamo. Sa kanyang interview ngayong araw na ito, si Committee on Justice Chairperson Congresswoman Jinky Luistro, ang sabi niya is, meron daw discretion ang SecGen to determine some kind of sufficiency, to determine kung ifo-forward. Pero wala siyang ma-cite na basihan sa kanyang opinion. Of course, opinion yon. Ngunit hindi naman na walang basihan sa batas o sa jurisprudence o desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Kung kaya nakikita natin na mayroong recourse, posibleng may recourse, ang mga may hawak ng pangalawa at pangatlong reklamo na dalhin o itulog sa Korte Suprema ang pagtanggi ng SecGen. Bakit mahalaga ang determination kung may discretion ang SecGen? Ito ay dahil mayroong 3 business days lang ang plenaryo bago nila ipadala sa Committee on Justice ang naunang reklamo. At yun po ang mag-signify ng pag-uumpisa or kung babasihin sa Francisco Doctrine, yung pagsumiti sa Committee on Justice ng reklamo ay yun po ang magmamarka ng pag-uumpisa ng proseso ng impeachment kung kaya't wala nang maaaring tanggapin o wala nang maaaring ikonsidera na subsequent na mga reklamo. Kung babasihin din naman sa desisyon sa kaso ni VP, abay mas maaga pa ang pagdedetermine ng kung kailan nag-uumpisa ang proseso ng impeachment. Ayon sa saligang batas, isa lang reklamo or isa lang proseso ang maaaring gampanan laban sa isang impeachable official kada taon. So, ang pag-transmit mula isang tanggapan hanggang sa susunod ay nagmamarka daw ng pag-uumpisa ng proseso na ito. Ngunit sa Francisco na kaso, ang pagsumiti ng plenaryo ng reklamo papunta sa Committee on Justice ang nag-uumpisa niyan. Dahil ito ay mas specific, malamang ay yun ang magiging marka sa mga procedures dito kay Presidente Marcos. So, kung tanggihan ng tanggapan ng Secretary General ang mga reklamo maaaring itulog sa Korte Suprema ng mga complainants, ang issue na ito maaari pang sabihin ni Secretary General na siya lang personal ang maaaring magtanggap ng mga reklamo. Dahil wala siya sa bansa, tinanggihan ng mga kawani niya o mga empleyado sa Office of the Secretary General ang pagtanggap ng mga reklamo. Dahil ito ay isang legal question, maaaring i-resolve ito ng Korte Suprema. So, yan ang nakikita nating posibleng mangyayari susunod. Isusumite sa Korte Suprema ang issue na ito with a prayer for temporary restraining order plus a prayer for mandatory injunction na pilitin ang SecGen na i-exercise ang isang ministerial duty. Pag sinabi nating ministerial duty, wala siyang desisyon. Tanggap lang ng tanggap ang kanyang constitutional duty dito. Yan ang dahilan. Yan ang binigay na dahilan kung bakit hindi tinanggap yung reklamo. Simple lang.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin ang opinion, statement made by Atty. Trixie Angeles po. Para sa akin po, no? ito mga impeachment po, it doesn't give a good name to the Philippines. It doesn't give good name sa mga leaders natin po, no? Ang ibang nation po will look sa Pilipinas po, iba ang image na po, no? And worse still, kung ganun po, do you think ang mga foreign investors will come in sa Pilipinas? I doubt po, no? I really doubt they will come in and invest in the Philippines, which our president is keeping repeatedly encouraging itong mga foreign investors to come dito po sa dyan po sa Pilipinas. But with the situation that we are facing now dyan po sa Pilipinas, I don't think so po. Mahirap to convince foreigners, investors, no, to come and invest sa Pilipinas. Dahil po ang problema natin dyan. Mayroon na tayong problema sa image. Tanis ang image ng Pilipinas dahil po sa corruption po. The biggest corruption so far in the history of the Philippines po, no? Itong flood control projects po at saka ang 2025 national budget natin. And mayroon pa mga questionable items dyan po sa national budget ng 2026. Ang attitude ng mga politicians natin, no? Involved. Mga pangalan nila po, involved dyan po sa corruption. Hindi lang sa Senado, hindi lang sa Kongreso, but other government top officials po. And plus ang greedy contractors natin po. And ang proseso, the system itself of the government now po, this is the reason why ang mga taong bayan, ang mga Filipinos po, they don't trust anymore po ang, hindi naman siguro lahat, but many Filipinos do not trust the government anymore po. Let's say about ang flood control projects, anomalous deals po, no? Nakita na natin po na nandyan na ang mga tao, no? Nandyan ang mga tao po involved. But sino lang po nakulong? Former Senator Bong Revilla. Maraming mga promesa na they will issue arrest warrant sa mga other people. Pero hanggang ngayon wala pa. Mga masterminds po, no? Wala po. What is happening? What is happening po? You cannot blame ang public ngayon if they don't trust you, no? If they don't trust you po. Ang problema dyan po, no? Instead, itong mga impeachment po, sana po ang presidente natin, I'm sorry to say this, sana ang presidente natin po, we focus na lang. Okay, tapusin na natin ito. Flood control projects, anomalous deals. Okay. Ikulong na lahat kung sino-sino pa. As what the president keep on saying, na no favoritism. Either, regardless whether you are a part of the family, political partners ko po sa politiko, kung sino man po, basta involved kayo sa, sabihin natin, kalukuhan or anomalous deals, then you will be, the long arm of the law will run after you. Pero so far po, wala po. Long arm of the law, nandyan lang po. But, no action taken po. No? And, kung mayroon man siguro, it is taking time. Taking time po, no? We have to consider po, no? The more you are going to delay this problema natin po, the more the Filipinos will suffer. Not only our daily lives po, mga Filipinos po, but also ang reputasyon ng Pilipinas, ng bansa natin po. Apektado po tayo po. Kaya, let's say kami dito sa Malaysia, dito sa Sabah po. I don't know, but I think I'm not wrong to say that some Filipinos, some of my friends were saying, Nick, what is happening sa ano ninyo? Ganon ba mga Filipinos? Ganon ba mga Filipinos? Na alam na ninyo na may guilty or involved itong tao po, but still is free because we are talking about proseso. Sa ibang nation po, even dito sa Malaysia, I hate to compare, the moment mayroon sabihin natin, issue ang officials or politicians or any government official, top government officials, be it civil or sa military po, no? Agad-agad po, they will be jailed. and put to behind bars while sabihin natin, ang investigation is going on. Sa ibang nasyon po, ang mga leaders nila, no? The moment mayroon kunting lang po, no? Ang trust sa kanila po, they will step down. But dito po sa atin, o dyan po sa atin sa Pilipinas po, hindi po, no? They don't want. They don't want to step down. Kung pwede, i-save nila, and they will use that money that they have stolen sa mga Filipinos po to defend themselves. So ganito po, whether we like it or not, this is really what is happening po. No? Fed up na ang mga Filipinos. No? Ako mismo po, I'm fed up about hearing all these mga problema, mga exchange of words between two camps or the government and the public po. Ito ang problema sa atin po. We are not solving the problem. Instead, we are complicating the problem po. Instead of solving it po, ang dami na. Ngayon, impeachment na naman. And pagdating sa impeachment, mayroon na naman kontrobersya na itong isang government office refused to accept. Bakit po? It's very clear in the Constitution na your job is only ministerial. You have to accept it. Now they will say, no, wala dito ang big boss. Ang big boss will have to accept or receive itong mga complaints. So what is happening sa atin po? In fact, if you look at it po, no, I think we can solve this problem the soonest po. But the problem is we are making it complicated. We are making it complicated. I hope I'm wrong po. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm only concerned. As a Filipino po, I'm really concerned about what is happening sa Pilipinas because every day, as long as itong problema natin will not be resolved as soon as possible, every day po, apektado ang Filipinos. Hindi lang ang mga Filipinos, kababayan, kaibigan, kapatid natin dyan po nakatira sa Pilipinas. kami din po, mga overseas Filipino workers po, we are also affected. We are also affected in many ways. Kaya ang hingi ko po sa gobyerno natin po, focus sa isang thing, solve the problem, and then jump to another thing, to another problem po. Dahan-dahan po. Do not mix it po. Complicated na po, no? Complicated na po. I hope I am wrong. So siguro hanggang dito na lang muna ang programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And let's all pray na solve na natin itong problema ng Pilipinas para pwede na ang Pilipinas to move on. Para ang standard of living ng mga Filipinos po will also be upgraded po. The more we are going to delay it, the more we are going to suffer. So with this, Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day-to-day. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye and take care of yourself. I love you all.